Hello, YouTubers. Welcome to Level-Headed News. This is your host, Brenda. This is the third episode in the trifecta I have for you this morning. There's also a couple special editions that I put out there as well. There are 5 articles in this episode, and the URLs are in the description of the video for your perusal. The first article I have for you is off of naturalnews.com, and it says Oregon's criminalization of rainwater collection is now complete. Saving water runoff will get you thrown in jail. Jackson County, Oregon have again shown their disrespect for private property rights, telling a local couple they must tear out a 40-year-old 2-acre pond located on the property they bought 2 years ago. Jackson is the same county that recently imprisoned and fined another area landowner, Gary Harrington, for illegally collecting rainwater. The county said the water contained in the lake Harrington built on his property belonged to the Medford Water Commission, according to a 1925 state law. Harrington vowed to fight the commission, but eventually served 90 days in jail and paid $1,500 for the ponds he built on his property before finally being forced to destroy the dams and drain the lakes. Now John and Sabrina Carey are facing a similar dilemma after being told that their pond is also in violation of the law. When the couple bought their 10-acre property 2.5 years ago, the pond was a major motivation for purchasing it. In fact, the pond could be said to be its only valuable feature. We didn't buy it for the double wide, said Sabrina Carey. Are the Careys being singled out for growing medical marijuana? The Careys were only notified that the pond was in violation of the law after they attempted to comply with other regulations regarding medical marijuana cultivation. Those who grow cannabis for medical purposes are required to identify the irrigation source. In this case, the pond was listed as the water source, and that apparently raised a red flag with the county water authorities. The Jackson County Watermaster's office sent the Careys a letter stating that they not only had no rights to the water in their pond, but had no right to a pond on their property to begin with. Never mind the fact that the pond was built 40 years ago and is clearly shown on the county records. Now the Careys are faced with reducing their property's value drastically by removing the pond or instead fighting the local authorities, a choice that didn't work out so well for Gary Harrington. The Careys have tried to find other solutions. They have offered to reduce the size of the pond and make the water available for firefighting and drought relief operations in the area. Their lawyer, Sarah Legitefelt, has requested that the commission grant a permit to the Careys to store water for the good of the community. From the Mail Tribune, it says, in the past, the pond has been used for fire suppression and is accessible to fire trucks from Butte Falls Highway, Legitefelt stated. Legitefelt said the pond is an important source of water for beavers, otters, elk, deer, bear, mountain lion, bobcat, bald eagle, osprey, great blue heron, snowy egret, Canadian geese, and the western pond turtle. Indeed, after 40 years, it would seem obvious that the pond supports wildlife and that its presence is not only valuable to the Careys, but to the community as a whole. But the authorities aren't buying it and are reportedly disinclined to accept the request. Water Commission fears setting a precedent by allowing the Careys to keep their own pond. Water Commission staff found several problems with Carey's request, including setting a precedent that could prompt similar requests and weaken state statutes while not meeting the definition of municipal water source. For most of us, the idea that the government should have the right to own what is on someone's private property and then tell them what they can do with it is a violation of the principles this country was founded on. But in Jackson County, the rules are different and reflect a nationwide trend towards excessive governmental control over private property and people's lives. As Gary Harrington said, however, when something is wrong, you just as an American citizen, you have to put your foot down and say, this is wrong. You can't take away any more of my rights, and from here on in, I'm going to fight it. How insane is that? The next one we have here is off of the dailysheeple.com, and it says, video. Alexa accidentally offers Toddler hardcore porn on Amazon Echo. You can't make this stuff up. This is how it reads. The technology advanced future. It's not quite like the Jetsons told us it would be, is it? First, it comes out that Amazon Echo not only saves all your voice data, but surprise, surprise, the police can access it. Now, here's a reason you might want to think twice about leaving your small children alone with Amazon Echo, unless, of course, you want them to learn some new vocabulary words they might not quite be ready for yet. Sounds like the toddler said, "Alexa, play Tickle Tickle." What happened next, however, and they have a video that you can watch to see what Alexa does. Oh my goodness gracious. And the title of the video is Amazon Alexa Gone Wild. Holy smoke. The next one we have is off of BizPack Review, and it says, damn, outrageous Philadelphia tax showing up on receipts reminds why blue states turned red. Philadelphia residents may find themselves traveling out of their neighborhoods to avoid tax that just went into effect. A bill signed in June by Philadelphia's Democratic Mayor Jim Kenney approved a 15-cent per ounce tax on sugary beverages and went into effect on January the 1st. And I read that incorrectly. I'm sorry. It's 1.5 cents per ounce tax on sugary beverages. Okay, it says, and while the increase seems trivial at first glance, the effect on the new tax proved substantial, as shown in one shopper's bill from Philadelphia grocery store on Sunday. And it shows this bill, and she bought some Propel water, berry flavored, and it was $5.99. And the Philly beverage tax is $3.04, and then the state tax is 72 cents. And the total bill is $9.75. $9.75 for a $6 case of Propel water. Okay, the article goes on. I'm still trying to wrap my brain around this. Holy smoke. It says a $5.99 case of Propel fitness water saw a 50% increase in the shopper's bill. The first major U.S. city to pass a sweetened beverage tax, Philadelphia was commended by Kenney for making a historic investment in our neighborhoods and our education system, with the tax expected to bring in an estimated $91 million, NPR reported in June. Residents and the beverage industry opposed the tax, which passed Philadelphia's city council by a vote of 13-4. A beverage industry lawsuit against the soft drinks tax was dismissed in December, according to Forbes. Of course, the increase in cost will be passed on to consumers who purchase the sugary drinks at restaurants and from vending machines. As Philadelphians faced the new sticker shock of beverage purchases, they began to travel into other suburbs in order to avoid the extra price. Some stores were even imposing limits on soda purchases after those outside the immediate community came in to stock up, the Delaware Valley News reported. I worked too hard to give my money away to other people, a man named Dave told the publication. Kenney, that idiot is done. I'm not voting for him or any moron on city council that let this pass. Pollster Frank Luntz dished up the obvious in a Twitter tweet on Monday. It says, if you're wondering why 2016 voters chose Republicans to run the government, look at this 50% tax on soda in Democrat-run Philadelphia. People took to social media to express their shock at the price increase, which in some cases rivaled the tax collection on alcoholic beverages. And there's a whole list of tweets. Man, oh man. People are not happy about the soda tax. I don't blame them. The next one we have here is off of space.com. It says NASA unveils 2 missions to study truly strange asteroids. NASA's next low-cost planetary missions will attempt to unravel the mysteries of some seriously bizarre asteroids. The space agency has selected projects called Lucy and Psyche via its Discovery program, which funds highly focused space missions to destinations throughout the solar system. The Lucy project will investigate the Trojans asteroid, which share an orbit with Jupiter, while Psyche will journey to the asteroid belt to study a huge metallic asteroid named 16 Psyche that resides there. This is what the Discovery Program missions are all about, boldly going places we've never been to enable groundbreaking science. Thomas Zuberchin, Associate Administrator for NASA's Science Mission Directorate in Washington, D.C., said in a statement today, January the 4th, which was actually yesterday, NASA mission to metal asteroid Psyche images is a link that you can click on to see more of that. And it says Lucy is scheduled to launch in October of 2021. If all goes according to plan, the probe will visit an asteroid in the main asteroid belt located between Mars and Jupiter in 2025, and then go on to study 6 Trojan asteroids between 2027 and 2033, NASA officials said. There are 2 streams of Trojan asteroids. One trails Jupiter and the other leads to the giant planet around the sun. Scientists think both streams may be planetary building blocks that formed far from the sun before being captured into their current orbits by Jupiter's powerful gravity. This is a unique opportunity, Lucy principal investigator Harold Levinson of the Southwest Research Institute in Boulder, Colorado, said in the same statement, because the Trojans are remnants of the primordial material that formed the outer planets, they hold vital clues to deciphering the history of the solar system. Lucy, like human fossils for which it is named, will revolutionize the understanding of our origins. Psyche will explore one of the oddest objects in the solar system, 130-mile wide, 210 kilometers, metallic asteroid that may be the core of an ancient Mars-sized planet. Violent collisions billions of years ago might have stripped away the layers of rock that once lay atop this metallic object, science say. This is an opportunity to explore a new type of world, not one of rock or ice, but of metal, said Psyche principal investigator Lindy Elkins Tanton of Arizona State University. 16 Psyche is the only known object of its kind in the solar system, and this is the only way humans will ever visit a core. We learn about inner space by visiting outer space. Psyche is scheduled to launch in October of 2023 and arrive at the asteroid in 2030, NASA officials said. Lucy and Psyche were among 5 Discovery finalists that NASA announced last year. One of these other finalists, the Dangerous Asteroid Hunting Near-Earth Object Camera, or NEOCAM, will get an additional year's worth of funding for continued developments, NASA officials said. The Discovery Program, which was founded in 1992, supports relatively low-cost planetary missions. Development costs of the current crop are capped at about $450 million apiece, NASA officials said. The agency has funded 12 other Discovery missions in addition to those announced today, including the planet-hunting Kepler Space Telescope, the Dawn mission to the huge asteroid Vesta and Ceres, and the InSight Mars lander next year. The next article I have for you is off of BizPac Review, and it says, after public snubbing, desperate celebs aim demands directly at Congress in embarrassing new video. On the same day the 115th Congress is being sworn in, a number of Hollywood moonbats and other celebrities are calling on Washington lawmakers to vigorously oppose President and his racist, sexist, anti-immigrant, anti-worker, anti-Muslim, anti-Semitic, anti-environmental policies. Is it any wonder why hardly anyone takes them seriously when it comes to politics? In a video titled #StandUpForUs, supporters are asked to sign a MoveOn.org petition that will be sent to members of Congress. Humanity for Progress, formerly known as Humanity for Hillary, is responsible for the campaign, according to The Hill. We demand that you block nominees who threaten the rights of women, the LGBT community, people of color, immigrants, and the poor, actress Sally Field and actor Keegan-Michael Key say in the video. The majority of Americans, regardless of who they voted for, did not vote for racism, sexism, or for xenophobia, and yet Donald Trump won, the celebrities go on to say. You represent us in Congress, Rosie Perez, the former co-host of The View, tells lawmakers. Perez doesn't seem to grasp that Congress also represents the millions of Americans who voted to elect Trump. We won't remain silent. We'll work harder to mobilize our votes and our communities, the participants add. But we need you and expect you to have our backs. Of course, this isn't the first attempt to try and sway policy and opinion using a celeb-filled video. Hollywood activists got together in December and made an embarrassing plea to electors to change their vote from Trump. We all know how that worked out. And that's all I have for you this morning. If I come up with any breaking news or anything that I think could make a good special edition, I'll bring it to you. But that's it for now. If you like what we're doing, give it a thumbs up and share it on your social media so everybody gets to hear the news. Don't forget to subscribe. Click that little bell beside the subscribe button and check the box so that you get email messages every time I put a show up, and keep yourself informed. I hope you have a wonderful day. We'll see you in the next episode. Bye.